This episode of the Pro Crastinators podcast was brought to you by our bonus episode. Go to patreon.com/theprocrastinators and pledge $5 or more to get access to all our bonus monthly episodes. Last month's episode was... The topic for this episode is New Year's and Old Year's thoughts.
And here's a blast from the past. You may remember this guy, Munchie, with his diminutive headwear.
Time to return to what we all think about when we think about Munchie Run. Gotta fucking take a huge fucking piss on the PCP!
Oh, well, I'm sorry I didn't get Ghost in the Shell this year either. But next year, for sure, guys, for sure.
Smash
2020. Smash cut to
Nate's grave.
2021.
To 2029.
That's patreon.com/theprocrastinators. Giving you a boner every single time.
Hey everybody, it's another episode of the PCP. Nate's late like a bitch, but I'm here.
What a
Digi-bro.
concept.
Way to start the new year for people.
Yeah.
Welcome to 2020, to the new decade, even, not just the new year. But how you guys feeling, Mage Ben, in the new year? I mean, it's not the new year for us recording.
Yeah, it's
yet.
not.
It will be
yet.
when you hear this. We haven't suffered through it yet. Hopeless, doomed. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. We're all headed towards oblivion.
I feel great.
Cool.
I am feeling great as well.
amazing.
I'm excited.
Right on. Nice. Happy for you.
At least in a general sense. In the actual moment, I'm tired, fed up with waiting, because we already waited half an hour for Nate to get home, and he still ain't here yet. So here we are.
We really did.
In so many
On the
years, he blundered
procrastinator.
up just once.
Yeah, that makes it all the worse. He's tarnished his perfect record.
So
It's
I know-
painful.
It's like
I know
Lisa
the last
Simpson getting a
episode-
B.
The last episode was the last of the year and decade, technically. But did you guys talk about that at all on that episode?
No.
I
Did
was
we?
not
I don't
there,
know.
so-
No, I think we just talked about the holidays.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it being the end of the fucking decade,
I wanna
dog?
talk-
Let's do it. Go for it.
I want to talk
man.
about what you did during the holidays at some point, because like you were talking before the holidays, wasn't it? You recorded last one.
Who?
Oh,
This? Us?
You guys, yeah, like last episode was recorded on the 22nd, so it wasn't
Yeah.
Christmas yet. Now it's post-Christmas. What'd you get for presents? I need to know.
Oh, I just got a bunch of crap. I didn't even get... I asked my parents for, like, one thing, and it wasn't even a big thing, and I think they just forgot and didn't get it for me.
What was the thing? What was the thing?
It's just a boring, like, I wanted, like, an adjustable, like, razor, like, for your beard, you know? You put on, like, the different length attachments on hair clipper. I was like, I could use one of those. They got me, like, shoes. It's like, I didn't want shoes.
Oh, I remember the shoes. The shoe saga continues.
They got me a couple nice shirts, though, so whatever, it's fine.
It balanced it out.
Got me more
I got
Copics.
some stuff. I got random stuff from May's family and $100 on Amazon. I mean, I'm an adult. Christmas is not exciting anymore, nor
No.
should it be.
No.
Although it was exciting because I did my own Christmas for the first time, where I had the tree and I had the stuff, and I had Epstein didn't kill himself written all over the place.
Did you
Oh, geez.
have your family over to your place? Is that how you did it?
I had Vic and Shade over.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty cool.
But I mean, you could just go. You can learn all about it by watching the fucking video I made about it. Epstein didn't Christmas himself.
That was what the video was about. Okay, I haven't watched it. Didn't really have the time.
What else could it be about?
How should I know? Things aren't things that they seem to be nowadays. So, you know. But yeah, okay. My Christmas. I had fun because I got this gift. Like my parents said, it's like, oh, there's not gonna be any gifts this year. But I decided to be sent, and I got everyone gifts. Well, rather than so for my sister and my mother, I got them money because they can just buy their own clothes because I'm not really good at buying clothes, and they like clothes, so you know, just money. I got my dad a computer, but like it got a bit busted during the shipping, but it's okay, it's fixable. It's just gonna cost a little bit extra. But yeah, new
that
computer
sounds
for dad.
expensive.
Okay, I got a new computer for myself and my old computer which is still really good for today's standards. I got it shipped over to my dad. It did cost a little bit. I got it insured. Thankfully, I got it insured. So maybe I'll get some of the money back of that because they busted
Well,
my
that should
computer.
mean you get it all back, right? Isn't that what insurance means?
Kinda, like you have to put in what you think the computer is worth, like what the shipping item is worth. I put in 500 quid, though the computer actually costed like more than twice as much back when I bought it, but I bought it in 2016. Well, I didn't buy it, I got it as a present. But yeah, 2016. So it's been a few years on it, so I lowered the price just to be fair. And yeah, they kind of busted it a little bit, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be like, oh, because you didn't pack it properly, you're not gonna get your refund or anything.
Well, I mean, that isn't.
They have to like survey the damage.
Insurances.
They asked for pictures.
Like
No, they asked for pictures. I took some pictures, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe on the next episode I'll have a reply. It's been a few days, but it's the holidays, so Anywho, and I got like the best gift ever. It's not very appealing looking, but I got my very first onesie, and now I am one with the gremlin. I am the gremlin. I am wearing the onesie. I am a gremlin. I love it. It's so good.
What onesie? What gremlin?
I'm wearing a onesie, and I feel like a gremlin wearing it. I'm in just a big old onesie, and it's so weird.
Like
and
with footies?
Without feet. It's
Okay.
just with the it's just a one piece for like legs and arms, and like it has a little hood on the head, and it's really great. And this is what I've been wearing around the house now. Who needs clothes? Onesies for life. I love it. I'm a gremlin.
Ben, I'm glad you also thought that she meant an actual gremlin onesie.
I was imagining like a kigurumi, but like with like
the
a
only
gremlin
ones I
head.
have are Totoro and Snorlax, so
I
could
wish.
easily imagine.
I wish I would have got something like that, but no, my families are normies. They wouldn't have gotten me something as cool as an anime onesie. But no, this is fine. It's very soft, it's very warm, and it's very pleasant. A little short on the legs, but most things are for me. Too long. Legs too long.
Amazing. I got boots. I guess I'll wear them in the snow. I got Copic markers. That's pretty cool. I never use those, but there might come a day.
They're good.
They are good.
So it makes you feel good.
They're good, so I should probably use them, but I don't know. I guess time will tell. I got new hats. Got a bunch of new knit hats. That's pretty cool. I haven't worn any of them yet. But I mean, whatever.
My family has been nagging me about wearing the hat that I wear because they think it's super ugly. And I'm like, I don't care for your Christmas with the giant fluffy thing at the end. I hate those hats.
What hat? What hat do you wear?
It's just a black hat. It's kind of like a beanie, but it's not a beanie. I think. It's just like fabric. It's just black fabric with a red triangle on the front, and they find it
nice. Antifa.
No.
Yes.
No.
I was watching a speed run of Kingdom Hearts 2, and I cannot believe how fucking cool Halloween Town Sora looks in that game with his goth Santa. The goth Santa look is so great. I was like, wait a minute. Was he always goth Santa in Kingdom Hearts 2 Halloween Town? He was. Amazing. Great decision.
You gotta Google that.
Agreed.
I wanna have a look. So I'm googling it. Halloween Town Goth Santa, you say?
Halloween Town.
Are you watching this? Are you watching the speedrun right now, Ben?
No. I just this is a thing I've been doing lately. Just putting on like GDQ speedruns just on autoplay. That's the one. Look at that.
It does look cool.
Actually, the 2D drawn art is cooler than the 3D model, but
I still like this one.
I like the goth Santa. It's my shit.
There's a figurine for the Goth Santa. Look at it.
Yes. Is that not just the fucking coolest?
I don't even play Kingdom Hearts and I want it. It's such good aesthetic.
What's the guy's name? The guy who did he did The World Ends With You. You ever play The World Ends With You? That game's fucking sick.
I played the emulator
trash,
back
baby.
when it came out, but it didn't play too well on the computer, so I never actually got to play it.
No, you gotta play that on a dual screen. You
It's
got
out on the Switch now.
Is it? Oh
Is
yeah.
it? I guess that makes sense.
I
Great.
bought
You know,
too
I'm
many
glad.
games
I was
To
afraid that maybe
justify
it would.
another bite.
I was afraid that maybe it would never get re-released for anything because of like the weird screen setup. It's great though. People should buy that on the Switch. Classic. Fuck. What's the guy's
heard it
name? What's the character designer? Do you guys know?
He's the big shoe boy.
He's Big Shoe Boy, Zipper Man.
Trash baby god.
Rob Liefeld. Lots of pockets.
I mean,
That's
are
it.
you talking about
the
you're
pockets
talking
guy.
about Nomura, right?
I am talking about Nomura. That's correct.
Yeah.
Got it. We got there. Fuck, man.
Fucking Nate's turning over in his voicemail grave right now.
He's-
named Nomura.
He. I'm sure he would have lots of opinions about Goth Santa.
Goth
So I
Sora
spent,
Santa.
God, I hope not.
I spent the holidays mostly. I talk about. I had to suffer the company of my family members.
Same.
Who are they're all so much taller than me. Me and Nate and we're all tiny, and everyone else in our family
Manly
is
squad.
yeah. Everyone else in our family is like 6 feet plus. They're huge. It's like it's weird.
I have the exact opposite problem.
You want to trade?
No, wait, maybe I do.
Let's do it. Well, so I had to do that. Mostly I was just plastered the whole time. Mostly I just got like roaring drunk and like passed out every single day. It was great. It made it go by faster. I say that like it's a bad thing, like I had a miserable time, but actually it was fun. Just getting fucking wasted. All through the holiday season. Try it sometime.
I
have
Nice.
tried it every year, in fact.
it sounded like I said I had done so, but no. I just wanted to say that I had done something else to pass the time other than get
damn.
plastered. I do not drink. I
Damn.
got this game on Steam.
How do you live?
I survive. I drink water.
I didn't
and apple
drink,
juice.
I didn't drink that much until recently. And now I drink all the time.
Do not.
And it's bad.
Do not.
I don't know. I don't think it's good. I think maybe it's weird.
Well, let me ask you this, Ben. Do you like it?
Sometimes. Kinda.
Well,
I guess.
Ben, good.
You can like a lot of things, but not all the things are good for you, even though you like them.
But
It's not about good for you, just about whether it's good.
Actually-
I mean, good for you is a very subjective thing.
Actually, it's interesting.
Yeah.
When I drank less frequently, when I did drink, I would wake up the next day feeling like, oh no, I got so drunk last night. Oh, I must have acted like such an asshole. Oh, everyone hates me now. Now, I've been drinking like every night for a while. I've been, blacking out like all the time.
And everyone loves you now.
And I don't care anymore is the problem. Now I wake up and I don't care what
Maybe
what happens.
maybe you're too cynical, if that's the right word nowadays.
Cynical?
I'm not sure if that's the correct word. Like, just
I just don't give a fuck.
yeah,
guess.
basically.
I've just gotten so used to the feeling of waking up and not remembering how I fell asleep that I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. That's normal. Don't worry about it.
I'm highly against that sort of lifestyle, but you do you.
Okay. Well, I'm highly against your sort of lifestyle, whatever that means.
No, it's just I don't particularly. I have a few alcoholics in my family, and I don't like seeing their lives go that way. So, just out of concern for your well-being, I just say I don't really approve of that sort of.
If you start seeing shit, stop drinking.
I'm probably gonna cut back pretty soon. Like, why? I don't know. I think it's just a holiday thing. Like, people
Yeah.
are all
I gotta say,
getting together and partying. Whatever.
Ben, I can't remember. Did I ever tell you to read the manga Disappearance Diary?
Another diary.
I don't remember.
Okay, well, it's a manga about a guy named Hideo Azuma who recently died. Rest in peace. But he had this manga he wrote about the 3 times that he had disappeared, that he ran away from his family and just became a homeless man. Well, the first time he ran away, he just became homeless for like 20 days or so before the police found him and brought him back home, because apparently they can do that. Then the second time he ran away, he just like went to a different town and started up a different job as like a construction worker or whatever. This guy's a manga artist. And then in the third part, he becomes a hardcore alcoholic in the 90s. And in that part,
His most lucrative job to date.
yeah, I had never truly understood what alcoholism does to you until reading that, but it's basically like, you know, if he wasn't sloshed at all times, he would like hallucinate freaky shit and like just vomiting in the streets and like barely knows where he is most of the time.
I mean,
it was
like,
fucking crazy.
if you're real deep in it, you get like withdrawal and like you're fucked and you have to like detox.
I mean, I know something about withdrawals, let me tell you. Because I didn't have no weed yesterday, and it was not easy to get to sleep, but...
No. No, man. Nah, drinking's gay. Drinking's for the birds. I can't
honestly,
wait to be above the influence again.
I very rarely drink anymore, and it's funny because... people used to like identify me as the guy who drinks.
I mean, your
internet,
your Twitter profile says like getting drunk and ranting about anime.
I one time I almost changed it to say getting high and ranting about anime or whatever, but it's just about the way that people respond to those two things. It's really funny how normal it is to people to drink or to say you drink, but not the same when you say you smoke pot. Not yet, anyway. But people have a very different set of assumptions about that. And, like, it was just funny to me how, like, when I started smoking pot, it started coming up a lot in my comments. Like, oh, Digi's high. That's why this video is like this. When, like, I was like, but I used to be drunk in all the videos. Like, what? Is this the trade-off? Like, how do you tell the difference between a high video and a drunk video, I wonder?
Yeah.
Both of those things kind of... I don't like.
One is normal.
Equally.
No, Mage, you gotta live a little bit.
I live the way I like to live.
What do you
find.
do?
Let's peer pressure Mage.
No, you will not succeed. I am a contrarian.
Dude, how do you know you don't like it? How do you know you don't like it if you haven't tried it? Don't you know all the cool kids do it?
I have tried alcohol, and my family likes to sometimes tease me, like, at least they used to. And they were like, hey, try this, try that. And I hate it. All alcohol tastes the same to me. I even smell alcohol in deodorant, and I don't like using the deodorant where I can smell the alcohol.
Drinking it, huh? What are you, pussy? Huh? You some kind of pussy?
Then it's not gonna work.
I mean, wait. There are drinks that don't taste that
I have to say,
alcohol-y,
I don't think anybody likes alcohol. Like, I mean, I could probably full stop that, but I don't think anybody likes it at first. Like, it is an acquired taste.
I mean, you
gotta not to acquire
like
that.
You gotta start with the drinks that don't taste like it, right? You gotta start with like your fruity like
drinks
bullshit.
Taste like that. All drinks taste like alcohol.
No.
You start with Mike's Hard.
You ever have like a sex on the beach or something, or like some kind of fucking wine cooler or whatever? It just tastes like juice.
I've tasted like really weak ass ones that they would even give to minors that had a little bit of alcohol in them. I can taste the alcohol in it, and I hate it. Though they were more tolerable than like beer or something like that. At least I'll say that much, because they had the extra flavors to them.
Nobody likes
alcohol.
Beer, I'm convinced.
Okay, the only kind of alcohol I like is the one that comes in like chocolate candy. So
there you go. There you go.
You just gotta drink Kahlua then.
That's what you gotta do.
No. It has to.
That sounds great.
It has to come in candy form and in small doses.
Oh,
all right. So if I take a pot right now and I melt down like half a pot's worth of candy bars, and then I fill the rest with alcohol and then put it in the freezer and send it to you, would you eat my alcoholic chocolate?
No.
All right. Well.
Boo.
Worth a shot.
I got these.
What if I made you weed candies though and said
hell
those?
Yeah.
No, weed smells terrible. I hate it. Like I
hate the smell of weed.
I can
like
smell like in the neighborhood whenever someone smokes. The whole neighborhood
It smells bad, man. I don't like it.
It's beautiful.
It
smells like a field of flowers.
If only.
Have I told the story about how one time in my dorm I was trying to like microwave peanut butter cookies with weed on them to like get the weed in the THC into the fat of the peanut butter, and I microwaved them too much, and I burnt the cookies in the microwave. But this was in college. And my fucking dorm or TA or whatever, the RA was coming down the hall, and we were like, shit, we gotta stash it. So we just had to shove these like burnt superheated peanut butter weed cookies into our mouths, and it tasted like ashes, and it filled my sinuses with the smell, the weed smell, and it burned.
That sounds like the worst.
Yeah, it was awful.
I don't like.
That's
what
I think of every time I smell weed.
I wouldn't want to smell weed emanating from my own body.
From my own, like, inside
suck.
of my mouth, which is currently burning.
Yeah, that's. I understand why that would.
Yeah,
that would be traumatic towards the smell of weed.
It was. It really was. Also, there was one time in college when I smoked weed, and I must have had something in it because it made me fucked up. It made
Probably
me
did.
I remember I smoked some weed and then I went to a party and I was at the party and it was like a bodily sensation and I could feel the fan, like the ceiling fan was on above me and I could feel the air blasting down at me on the ceiling fan like I was in a wind tunnel and it was like drying me out and dehydrating me and I couldn't move and I thought I would die. Which doesn't sound like what weed is supposed to do. I don't know.
Curious what drug? Yeah, I would. I'd be interested in. This was
not normal. But anyway, I tried CBD, and by tried CBD I mean that I walked into a store that was giving out tiny little paper cup samples of CBD lemonade, and they don't even ID check.
Lemonade.
Yeah, they don't even ID check.
Well, I mean, you don't have to be above 18 to do CBD, do you?
I didn't know that. Yeah, they gave.
It doesn't have any psychoactive properties, so.
I guess it makes sense. And you know what? It didn't do anything. So. There you go.
I mean, it seems like a huge meme to me. Like, I guess Tom has had some good experience with CBD because it's meant to basically have the physical effects of weed without the mental effects. Essentially, I mean, it's already in weed.
Yeah.
But it's the CBD without the THC. Tom was taking it as a way of helping with his back, although he was also just smoking weed. So I don't know which he did more of, or
did Tom smoke weed, or did he start using it with the CBD vape? Was he a smoking weed kind of guy?
No. It's because of the fact that when he went to New York to hang out with his friends, they gave him weed, and because he had back problems, he realized, oh, I need this, and started smoking. And it lives in Boston, where it's legal, so it's not impossible to acquire. Though it's way easier to buy CBD because you can just get it on Amazon. So I would assume he did more of that.
I actually had everyone. I had Tom and I had Zen over to my house the other day for Friendsmas. My roommates, we had a feast. There was antipasto, there was lasagna, there was chicken parm.
No pasto allowed.
We were totally antipasto, and everyone was like, "Hey Tom, you're walking again. Nice." And you know what? Excellent. It was great. It was honestly. The best part of the holiday was Friendmas. It was magical.
That boy,
I got completely wasted.
Stays on his feet the rest of his life. Never sits down again.
Yeah, and I don't remember going to sleep, and I never will. Never will again.
Fuck sleep.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been my holiday season.
I had I worked a lot. And then did a Crimbus. So, but we could reflect on the decade that just ended.
Oh my God!
Was it a good one? Was it a shit one? We all met this decade. The whole PCP happened this decade. Was that a net positive or a net negative?
Yeah,
it was an experience.
If I look at the whole decade, I would have to say it's been pretty good. Yeah, overall. I mean. Before the PCP, before doing any of my shit online, I had no direction in life.
Frankly, the last 10 years was a third of your life, almost a third of my life, and it's kind of hard not to it's the first third where we were like completely independent adults. So it's like it's almost not a competition between this and previous decades, at least for me.
Yeah, it's true. Like before,
I mean, for me, I shouldn't say it's definitely not a competition for me. Like the 90s and 2000s don't have fuck at all on the 2010s.
Wait, a decade ago, I was still in college, so like. I had basically had no life. I basically had made no choices in life whatsoever. So
for me, it started off really, really shitty, but things have been going up since then and are continuing to go up, I think. So I'm pretty happy with the decade overall.
Up and away.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Ben's thinking he didn't end this decade on the highest point of the decade.
I don't feel like I've ended it that strongly. I feel like
it's fine. It's
No.
fine.
No, it's a
fine.
disaster.
No, it's fine.
No, it's a huge nightmare.
No,
I've
don't
been
think
feeling
like that.
I felt very stagnant. Felt very stagnant the last couple years, I guess. I feel like I haven't made as much progress in my life as I wanted to.
If you're feeling blue, put a splash of red. Make purple. Purple makes things better.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess I'll give it a shot. Splash of red, huh? Well, fucking stab. That'll fix you.
I was wondering
Ben-
if you'll come to
Ben
that
turns
conclusion.
around. Ben turns around to his entirely blue painted room, considering maybe a splash of red will. And then
Holds gun to
next
my
week
head.
his
No.
whole room is.
Maybe that's just what the doctor ordered.
That is not where I was intending for it to go.
Hey, what stinks in here?
Gigantic
Oh my
round of
God.
applause. Yes.
Ben was just talking about killing himself.
Oh
Hell
yeah,
yeah,
that
dude.
sounds good.
Hell yeah.
I was not encouraging this.
Now there's a New Year's resolution we can get behind. You know, Ben, what is it? Form follows function, or whatever the fuck. Because you just died in my Nuzlocke just yesterday.
I heard,
And-
I heard.
shit.
I heard that Ben
was a
Saint
slaughter,
Hoots, his hypnosis didn't get the job done.
Okay,
Oh,
you know.
no.
Hey Nate,
Ooh, who's rough.
what if
Yeah.
we did a tribute to the dead Ben Saint by after I count to 3, we all just say Ben Saint, and then we'll do the same thing again.
Oh, good
All right,
idea.
so here's our tribute.
yeah.
1, 2, 3,
Ben
Ben
Saint.
Saint.
1, 2, 3,
Ben
Saint.
Saint.
With
All
an
right,
honorable
great tribute.
moment, yeah.
Pour one out for my little man.
And just that very day, I had retweeted some adorable art of the
saw
brothers united. Oh God,
I also
please.
retweeted that. Did you follow my instructions and never switch him out under any circumstances?
You know, in this, I actually did switch him out for pure strategic benefit, but
well,
he died
he's
nonetheless,
probably
so.
glad to be dead. Then he's better to die than a hero than live a coward.
It's so unfortunate. I got into a situation where I switched in sheep over. I won't go on about this, but like sheep over my Zubat, I switched in just to die. It was like a level 5 Zubat, so that I could get that. You know, you get the turn in with somebody else, or whatever, after it dies. And if only I had Russell on my team, who's yearning for death, who's
only.
craving death
If
as a
only.
Rattata to be reborn as a Ghastly one day, but. We'll see. We'll see if that happens. Anyway, tune in on Tuesdays and Saturdays, twitch.tv/definitely-best-guy-ever for the Nuzlocke adventure. All right, anyway.
So, Nate, we were
Yeah.
talking about whether or not we thought the last decade went good. And I think we all pretty much concluded that it had little competition since it's the first decade where we were like autonomous adults.
That is a totally fair metric, and yes, there's nothing to compare it to for us. You know, I did happen to
Well,
hear...
except for
I
childhood.
was saying a
which-
decade
okay.
ago I was in college, so I hadn't done anything.
Yeah, it's such a different experience of like I can take no ownership over how good or bad my life was the previous decade, really, because I guess I did my homework, so you know life was better than if I hadn't. But currently, I mean, yeah, we've all been kind of building up careers in one avenue or another, so we can actually have some autonomy over it. I'm pretty happy with how things are going. Life is generally pretty good. But
Sounds
I mean,
slightly more optimistic than bad. But,
I would think so.
You know, it's fine. No, it's fine. It's cool. Just remember the splash of red, and then I'll feel better.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm in a stage, as everybody knows, about trying to do a YouTube thing full time. I have not gotten where I need to be yet with that, but I'm making some changes, and I think in the bonus episode I talked about this a little bit more. Yeah, because that was our New Year's resolution one. So if you want to hear more about it, you should go listen to that, or be pledged to me. I'm gonna do a fucking update on my Patreon too. Whatever. I'm making some changes in order to do that for the new year. So I'm feeling pretty positive. I think some good things are coming in the future for me. And I mean, and for me, the worst case scenario is that all this YouTube shit completely falls through. And then what's the tragedy of my life? I go find some pretty cushy programming job again, and I just do that while doing YouTube on the side. So, you know, am I that worried about how things will go? Not really. I'm going to still be doing stuff online, so I'm not going to go anywhere pretty much no matter what. And I feel generally secure that financially I'll be okay. I guess so. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty decent. I don't mind getting a real job if I have to, which I did for a long time before doing YouTube full time. So that pretty much sums me up.
Yeah. Well, the 2010s for me, excellent fucking decade. The other decades I was miserable and depressed, so there wasn't much competition from those.
That's
But
good.
this was like honestly, just a pretty much clean upswing across the decade for me. I mean, there's rough patches in different areas, but like the overall experience is like pretty much as good as I've had it right now. So I'm feeling pretty good about going into 2020. It's a little like, oh man, this decade was almost too good. Could it really be better? Or will it inevitably get worse? But who knows? I'm going to try to
hard
make it
say.
better.
One particular aspect that is a definite decline. Okay, actually, you know what? This is fascinating because I don't know if you guys talked about like Christmas time and visiting the folks or anything, but me and Ben were back at our parents' place for a little bit. Ben gets there, I think, a little more regularly than I do. But going back there, like my parents live in a wonderful house in like I guess you'd call it a suburb of relatively rural Massachusetts near the Cape. So it's like a beautiful location. It's cold as Massachusetts is, but it's a great house. They've been saving up their whole lives. They've been very financially responsible, so they've got a great little place there. Very similar to our old house. But, like, when I'm there, I feel the icy grip of my father's authority wrapped around my fucking throat. And it is suffocating. It is truly suffocating.
Nothing is harder than going back to living under your family.
It's so
in my
true.
opinion.
Let me one example. We've had so many. Our dog, Sesho, sleeps with us like in our bed on the end most of the time. I'm always fucking kicking him because he's leaning against me. I kick the shit out of that dog every night while I'm sleeping. But generally, it's nice. But like, it was unthinkable that the dogs would even be upstairs. And like, while it was funny, we all drank and we were all having a good time. And like on the night of Christmas or whatever, Grace brings up my parents' dog Beanie and like sleeps with her in the bed. And like, it wasn't like a huge deal, but like that was something unthinkable in our youth. And I think my dad was at least mildly off-put by that reality, which is just. I get it. You understand the reasons for it. But
you gotta
it's
push. You gotta fuck with your parents. You gotta do it. Speaking personally, my relationship with my parents is such that I respect them, but I will also just dig into them if they, are being annoying or, or making my life more difficult. So, when I'm around my family, it's not that my dad's not really a problem, but he's also kind of off in his own world and just ADD reading his phone or whatever. Like everybody else is the ones you have to like snap into focus and organization. So, I try to basically be like, all right, I'm the man of the house now, bitch. Everybody's going to listen to me, as much as I can, just because like, yeah, being being used to being your own, man of the house. I do what I fucking want. Everything's on my schedule and my terms. And then you go to some, either your parents or, when I go to May's parents' house, which is more often by far, which she doesn't mind at all because, she's not usually the one setting all the timetables and everything anyways. But when I'm at her dad's house, it's just like, well, I am no longer in control. So I just kind of like completely let go, I just like achieve a Zen state and I just turn my brain off as best I can and veg around.
It's the right approach. It's the right approach.
Being at your parents' place, you just kind of give you permission to just ignore everything. Just like, whatever, they're taking care of it. Don't even think.
Not my house, not my problem. Oh, you guys can't decide what you want to do? Well, I don't care what we do, so I'll be over here, I'm not going to argue. I'm not going to sit around and fight with everybody. I'm not going to try to take any authority. Y'all figure shit out. I mean, I'm just a kid. I'm just a baby.
As we've talked about so many times, like when you're a content creator or whatever, like all your time could be devoted to that. But like this is why I noticed like there's a couple of aspects. Like, I rarely think about, like, how to have fun, like, actively. Like, sure, I'll veg out and watch a movie just to, like, distract myself. But when I'm on vacation anywhere, that's when I exercise more. I, like, actively do fun, relaxing things more, like, with intent, and therefore I enjoy them more. because I'm like,
Yeah.
I can't even do work even if I fucking want to. So I have to find enjoyable things to do. So it's good. I don't know. It's a good thing to have for me.
It can be hard depending on where you are to find things to do. I mean, like I said, if I'm at like May's house, for instance,
Yeah.
First of all, it's in Rochester. It's frozen tundra. There's snow everywhere, even because we went for Thanksgiving, and I did drive around a bit, but like. Our plan when we went was like, oh, we're gonna go all over town. We're gonna like revisit everywhere we've been. But it's like when you're trying to also do things with other people, it's just like you can't force anything,
Right.
Like it's not so simple as like, all right, everybody in the fam, we're all gonna go to this place at 7:00, and that's what we're gonna do. It's like somebody's gonna be like, I'm not gonna show up and I could do 8, and then it's just like, you know what? We're just gonna hang out at your dad's house and let people come and go as they please. I'm not gonna fucking try to do anything. So, I had a good time though.
I mean, I had a great time too. But like, we were talking about like, I don't know, we all gave each other our little gifts. I mean, I got like my parents like some chocolates and stuff with the whole Sesho diarrhea saga, as famously everyone knows. But whatever. So like. The gifts don't really matter anymore. So we were talking about, like, maybe for next Christmas, just doing, like, a destination holiday or something. I mean, we put out Hawaii or who knows where we could go.
Hold on. Are you telling me, Nate, that you told a story about a diarrhea saga on this podcast, and it was not the title of one of the episodes?
What are
we doing?
I guess that's a fair point. It's a pretty
not
short
diarrhea
story.
saga.
It's not any of our diarrhea.
That's right.
I mean, how long did the story go on for? Was it a
I don't
sizable
think it
chunk
was
of the-
that long.
I think that's why it
The
wasn't.
story
It
is
didn't
just that
qualify for
Sesho
title.
ate some chocolate and got diarrhea.
Yeah, in a nutshell. Well, you can boil any story down to a boring story if you do that, which it was.
I mean, what difference does it make, right? We name the podcasts always after one thing in
You're
like
right.
a 3-hour discussion. Diarrhea saga. That's a title.
Perhaps
He's
no
right.
Nibra, who suggests the titles these days, thought that would be off-putting. I don't know. I didn't correct him. So
off-putting is what is on brand for the PCP.
well, that's true.
Yeah, for
anyway, Sesho ate chocolate, got diarrhea everywhere. It's a nightmare. It still haunts this place to this day.
It's
One day.
a
we'll-
good
fact,
thing he survived.
Now that I think
Indeed.
about it, we could easily change the name of our podcast to Diarrhea Saga.
I mean,
And I
we could
don't
do
think
that.
it would be a bad idea.
We're already the Poop Crastinators podcast, so
true.
we have a storied history of poop-related stories. We should do the poop episode and just go all in.
I'm definitely down. That's a great idea. I can't believe we never did that, actually.
Have we done
Yeah.
We've done hygiene, and I think that was discussed, but not at any length. So I don't know. Okay. we
Poop
can,
Gotta do the
Poop
big
episode
shitter.
is genuinely a great idea, and we should do it.
Yeah.
It's a real
We should do
moneymaker.
that.
you know what? You're not wrong.
People
I'm
in the
all for it.
comments will finally be satiated.
I
They'll
can
finally stop
easily-
clamoring.
Easily talk for 3 hours
I
about
bet we could
shit.
rope Jesse into that one too. I bet we could do it.
Oh, I
if
hope
we,
I mean, I don't think we could do it without him. I think it would be unright.
It would be a wrong.
It would be
It would be wrong.
uncool.
I'm ready.
Every comment would be, "Where's Jesse?"
Okay, well let's toss that one out and see which fish we can reel in from our little pond here. I was gonna say though, this is kind of unrelated. But I was just talking about vacations or whatever. So me and Michelle were talking about we're probably gonna take another trip out relatively soon to see her folks in Hawaii, and like generously. They are like I don't know, like her dad got some money, so like he's willing to pay for the tickets. But like because it's like it's not during the holidays, we were thinking about like in February sometime. That's like the prices are like so discounted. It's gonna be probably like $1,200 to $1,300 or so for like both of us for a round trip, which is way better than it has been previously. So that's pretty sick. But like when I'm there, I cannot wait because I can't do work there. And I have to relax, and I have to do fun activities. I don't know, and I'm just going to go surfing in the middle of fucking winter when it's like hell here in Cincinnati, and I'll be able to escape the horrible lifestyle that we have here. Oh, you know what? I was making a point about that, which was just that, like, the environment I live in here is so much shittier than like the house I grew up in back east with my parents, or like obviously when we take a trip to Hawaii or anything like that. And like this is the one way that my life has like gotten worse, I would say. Right now, me and Michelle live in a decent apartment in Cincinnati. It's fine. We're in the ghetto, which sucks. This very day, I was walking around, just walking Sesho, and he's just pooping. I'm holding a bag to pick up the poop, and like a lady drives by and just yells at me and says like, "Hey, you can't let him poop there," like on a neighbor's lawn. I think she doesn't think that I live here because I'm white and this is like an all-black neighborhood basically. But I'm just like, "Oh no, I have a bag," and she's like, "That's still rude," and I just yell, "Why?" Why? And she just drives off before answering the question.
Because she had no fucking answer.
There's no, I mean, I'm prepared. I will not leave a mark. I'm being very responsible here. This is my neighborhood. But I mean, people, you know,
Nate, what do you
they be yelling
recommend
and
doing
shit.
about the fact?
Yeah.
What do you recommend I do about the fact that our next door neighbor lets
Yeah.
their dog seemingly shit all over our yard?
I'm pretty
gotta-
sure that's illegal.
That would probably count as littering. I think you should in a friendly way. If you haven't talked to him about it before, I would fucking.
I've never
take
spoken
this
to
the
them in
street.
any way.
Okay, I think here's what you should do. You should. This is what I would do. I would actually get a friend gift kind of thing, like a pie, and go over and introduce yourself first, because you want to get off on the right foot, and be like, "Hey, we're neighbors. Never came over, just never found the time. But like, here's a little gift. You know, we moved into the neighborhood. Just wanted to." Be friendly neighbors.
It's been 6 months.
Look,
I think
it's never too late. It's
Just
never
do
too late.
what I did. Just get high
Right.
on Molly and go
Yeah,
over to your
yeah.
neighbor's house
Yeah.
at 4 a.m, knock on the door. Easy
And-
peasy.
I'm trying
not
to give a
have them show
solution.
up.
that
Yeah,
will-
and don't and ruin any.
All right, hold
chance
on. What do
in
you
the
think
future.
of this idea that I had?
Okay.
I had an idea of putting a sign in the yard or on the porch that says,
no, don't do it. Okay, all right.
No.
Finish your plan.
All right. Well, I was going to have a sign that says, if your dog shits in my yard, I'm going to eat your dog.
Okay, look, that's funny, and I like it. But what that won't do is make your neighbors like you more. Or
I don't want them to like me. I
possibly
want them to
discourage
make their dog stop shitting in my yard. I also thought about just putting up an
The two problems
electric
are
fence.
one and the same. I think those two problems are linked. Because if they right now, you're a faceless, nameless creature who lives
Yeah.
in this thing, and you're not a human being to them. But if they know you and they know your name and
What
they
if
even
I
think
took a
about you
shit
at all,
on their porch in the middle of the night?
well, you'll just start a gang war. You'll start a shit war,
I
a
like
shit
where
flinging
that's
war
going.
in this, which would be good.
It's a little more my speed.
I'm telling you, this
All
is
this
what you
apple
do.
pie shit.
You put on your Sunday best pajama pants, and you trot yourself over there, and you knock on the door, and you say, "Hi, I'm Mr. Digibro. You may know me for my wonderful My Little Pony reviews." And you introduce yourself, and you say, "Hey, I'm gonna be honest. There's a little bit of an ulterior motive now that we've met. I'm just wondering if your dog's pooping on the lawn. Just wanted to kindly ask if that's you
This is
to not do it,
no.
because you don't even
I
know
don't
it's
feel like
not
this will even
necessarily.
work. They're gonna think you're a fucking little bitch who buys
No,
things for people
they
who let their
won't.
dog shit in their yard.
They will appreciate the courtesy and the neighborliness.
I guarantee
and
you, they're not thinking about the fact that their dog shits in your yard. They will not.
I
They will not
agree.
connect those two events in their mind until you explicitly make a thing out of it.
I mean, I'm just
I
gonna
would say
burn
you,
their
you
house
don't
down.
you don't
so-
go in hot saying like, "Hey, your dog's shitting here. Stop that," because it might not even theoretically be their dog. You phrase in the form of a question. I would say.
I think
but
it's
I
their
would
dog.
talk to him. I would talk to him. And it doesn't have to be it could be perfectly nice. You could make a friend in the act. I think.
I don't want to be friends with those
I know.
people. I want to drive a
It
monster truck
opposes
through their
our
house.
generation's, state of mind. We don't like to do these things, but
It's not about what I
can be
like.
done.
They just seem like, those people. You know what
Are
I
they
mean?
normos? Disgusting normies?
I don't even know.
Boomers
I actually
mowing
I
their
can't
lawn?
picture them well enough to think what I think they are.
Well,
You
fair
gotta
enough,
open your
fair
heart.
enough.
You gotta open your heart, Digi.
Well, I
Can't
live
even tell
in
how
the
old
fucking
they are.
city. I don't know any of my neighbors, and we all just have a general animosity towards each other, which is unfortunate.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up, man.
I don't like it. But I'm not going to do anything about it because I am a loser, and I just stay in my apartment, and that's life. That's life.
What a nightmare.
I can knock on these fucking people's doors and introduce. Like, if I lived in a suburb, I would do it, but I live in the ghetto, so I'm gonna avoid that.
All right, here's non sequitur, but
Sure.
I'm interested in you guys' thoughts on this and the audience's thoughts on this idea. I brought it up in the chat the other day, but nobody responded. So I had this this vision of like, what if the PCP was given like a budget to make a show? Like if we were given like $1 million.
Like Sam Hyde was back in the day.
Even I was thinking more like when Casey Neistat got funded to make that show that they sold to HBO for $2 million bucks.
sure.
You know what I mean? Like just having somebody who was like who looked at our group of people and said, "I have money. I'm going to give you guys money to make something, and we're going to try to sell it to a network, right?
Okay.
Like, if we had a budget of even just like $500,000, maybe not even that much.
RadCon 3 IRL Arena, that idea alone, I think, proves that we've got chops to do cool shit.
Yeah,
But,
well, here's my idea, all right? So if we have a big enough budget, what we're going to do is first we buy a house outright with the budget.
Okay.
Then we just spend like a month near this house. Like we can either stay in it, around it, wherever. We have all this money to fuck with. So all the money is going to be about keeping everybody in the vicinity of this house for a month as we just destroy it. Like just completely demolish this house. So like we would start the first week would mostly be us like live streaming and taking behind the scenes footage as we decorate the house. So first we would just like paint all over the walls, floors, everywhere, draw shit all over the place, fucking just do whatever we want to the place to make it into like a bunch of sets. And then we would film a whole bunch of shows on these sets, and in the process, of course, just destroy them as soon as we're done, get tons of footage of us just breaking this house until finally when we're done, we just lay it to the fucking ground. Like we either burn it down or demolish it.
Bulldoze it.
Yeah.
You know, I like
Final
this.
episode.
I have a pitch. I think we should paint a daisy on the front door or on the top of the house, and we name this project Daisy's Destruction 2. And,
Why? What is
the-
that in reference to?
You don't know Daisy's Destruction?
never
known.
Is this horrible like I think it's like a pedophilic like a snuff film about like the execution
All right,
of,
well, let's not name it after that.
I still think it's a solid idea, but it's
I
the
think
sequel
we
everyone's
should
been dying
name
for.
it Diarrhea Saga.
All right.
Yep.
It's no Daisy's Destruction, but I guess it'll do the job.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds abusing. I would do it if someone wants to come along and give us how much you think we have to get for this. I think we could do this for 30 grand if we get a small house, maybe 40 grand.
I have no
know.
idea. It depends on how much it costs to outright buy a house that we have no intentions of reselling. You know,
And we could do that in the middle of nowhere, like cheap real estate.
right.
place
That was
somewhere.
what I was
Right.
thinking. Is it would be because down in in like Western Virginia or North Carolina, there's just tons of these houses that are just
Yeah.
isolated. They're just on random plots of land in the middle of fucking nowhere. You know, so yeah, we could easily find a house that nobody cares about on a plot of land nobody cares about and just lay waste to it. I think I'd have to look into the legality of all that, but I think it would definitely be a hell of a lot of fun.
I mean, I definitely agree. But that reminds me of...
I think
Oh, go on, Ben. Go on.
we would probably risk serious injury if we were
I was gonna
actually
say that
like
too, yeah.
like breaking
Yeah.
the house down to the point that anything was like actually falling apart. We would
You know what
be
we'd
in
have to-
serious
I mean,
physical
for sure.
danger.
Yeah, you're right. We just got to be careful about the structural integrity.
We just
of
have to break it down
rooms
from top,
that we're in.
from top
Yeah.
to bottom. We have to go
Right,
top
exactly.
to bottom.
If the things we break are more like walls, and we start on the top floor and then make our way down, that wouldn't necessarily interfere with the structural integrity and might be safe.
Okay, actually, it would be kind of funny if maybe we were like only allowed in like the attic for a while, and like we had to like destroy it as fast as possible, and only when there was no attic left are we allowed to
Could
go
we move down?
Yeah.
I mean, I was thinking more like using like the destruction of the house over the course of the span would be more minor, like more like just wrecking things inside the house. Wrecking the house itself would come more towards the end because we want the whole house to be a bunch of sets that we can film shit on. But like just make a huge mess. Kind of like what we did with the Plebe and the Weeb, where just at the end it was a fucking just total disaster zone, But just do that, except also we tear down the whole structure of the building at the end.
Yeah.
Depending on the format, maybe we could all wear Destructo cams and kind of have it, Radcon Arena IRL style.
It'd be. I'm
See?
imagining
anything.
like you watch it out of sequence, and it just like some episodes like there's a door there, and other episodes there's not. Sometimes there are more windows than others. Something. When did the rug?
Haruhi
get ripped up?
Suzumiya release style, yeah.
I always think back to there's this series from I think Vice called Thumbs Up. I might have talked about this before, about two guys who like hitchhike their way across the country. And there's one bit in one of the early episodes where they stop off in like a ghost town because there's all these there's all these like random derelict buildings in towns on the railroad tracks that aren't used anymore. So they decided to just like sleep in one of these random derelict buildings. It's like all covered in graffiti and stuff. And then the next morning they're like, now let's tear shit up. And they just like pull out a gun and start just like shooting windows out and just like they kick a whole wall over. And it's just like, oh man, you can fucking do whatever you want to a house that nobody cares about. Like,
that's true. I don't know about the legality of firing guns randomly inside a house. Probably fine.
If you own the house, you could definitely do it, depending on the state you live in.
I'm worried about like the bullet travel, but fuck it, whatever. I'm sure it's fine. It sounds like a great time to me.
Fucking Hunter Thompson used to fire guns on his property all the fucking time.
That's fair. That's fair.
As I'm sure many people still do.
This reminds me of a thing I've been thinking about, which is the premise of this thing.
Which, incidentally, if we're doing that show, gotta buy some guns.
Probably, yes.
Gotta buy some real guns.
I was thinking about, you were saying, like...
And a rocket launcher, if we can find one.
That would be nice. That would be nice. The initiating thing that has to be there is, like, an investment from, like, some benefactor or studio or something like that.
Yeah.
And I'm all for that. But what I was thinking about was, like, it's interesting to note how most of us are out here doing our shit, and we're trying to survive on Patreon. At this moment, I mean, let's be real. The only one who's truly succeeded financially in this model is Digi. I'm working on it. I'm hoping to get there, but not there yet. But whatever, we're working on it. The rest of us are kind of scraping out various degrees of what you call survival in quotation at at a lowly state. But it seems to me like the dream of Patreon and all these things is like the people fund you because they like your work and they keep you afloat, blah, 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 and we're all working on that. That's what I'm trying to do too. But it seems that like the vast majority of people require like, there are like these little micro sponsorships that go around now from like fucking Audible and stuff, and that's fine. But like there's lots of like big donors necessary for even what seems like indie businesses. When you look into it a little bit, you find out that there's like a large, like a billionaire or like a large corporation like funding the success of this business. Yeah. And when I learned that, it's like, oh, I guess they didn't really make it just on like the strength of their product. I mean, I don't want to be an asshole because some of these started before Patreon existed and stuff.
I think it would be almost unreasonable to expect anybody doing anything that involves pre-production to not be backed by somebody. The kind of work that we do has so little pre-production that, and even when we have to do it, we do a whole Kickstarter for it. We'll do a Kickstarter just to fly people out to a location to do work that doesn't require any setup. But like, I really think that, investment is the only way you're going to get, like, the ability to do something bigger than, what you can just do by yourself with your own money. And, I mean, technically, Kickstarter is meant to be an investment platform. Like, the idea is that the people supporting you are investors in this thing to some degree. But even if they're not getting, like, money back from it. But, like, I do have to think that... I was thinking about this recently, that it's baffling to me that there is not more investment going on, like, in YouTube, in internet creation. And maybe it's just because of the fact that it has worked so little in the past, like that, previous times they've tried to have YouTubers do that kind of stuff. It just hasn't worked. And most YouTubers just think, oh, well, I make way more money just doing my own daily content instead. But, like, I think that what people are missing is that the people who need the investments are the smaller channels. Like the big ones who already have millions of subs, who already are proven successes, they don't need to do anything that involves pre-production. They're already successful, Yeah. But like the potential in, let's say, a group like the PCP, and I don't even know if we would succeed or if anybody would care about the product we produce, but like a group like ours will very much conform to what we have, to what we can do, Like when we do RadCon, we do basically whatever we can afford and whatever we have the time for with the people and the place that we have. So like a group like ours, if we did have an investment from somebody, we would definitely find a way to use it to make something unique. And I think it's surprising that there's not more like talent scouts trying to like search the internet for people who could do things like that. But I don't know, maybe it would have to be us who would have to approach somebody about it. Maybe we could find some some fucking freaky billionaire who loves anime and just wants to give us
would be sick.
$1 million
Maybe we
to
get Baron
destroy
Trump
a
on
house.
board. I know Baron Trump's a big fan of the animes.
Oh, fuck! I gotta reach out to Baron Trump. I'm not even joking. That's my 2020's resolution is to get Baron Trump to bankroll a PCP house.
That would be
project.
pretty great. I guess I wonder, like, for them, like, how they would get a return on investment with their. I mean, when you're a billionaire, your concern is probably at least preserve the money I currently have, which seems relatively easy if you're investing in smart ways.
Our production would be so cheap, though. Like we wouldn't need. All we need is to be able to buy a house and destroy it, and maybe buy materials that we could use for it. But we're not going to want anything crazy. Like, I think that as long as they could sell our show to like anywhere, it would be fine.
Well,
like
that's the question.
If they could even sell the show to a network or an internet network or something for the same price they spent on doing it, then profits would be guaranteed.
But see, that's the X factor right there, because of course the thing we haven't really talked about that I wanted to bring is like when you do this, there's two separate issues. One, there's kind of a like this doesn't matter as much, but like I personally feel a little squirmy. I still want to do it. I would love to get a sponsor for the PCP. And we should actively pursue one. I think one that we all like and are comfortable promoting. There's just no reason not to, in my opinion. But whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, but when you have investments of this kind in any capacity, like not morally, but like in terms of like self-esteem, I start to be like, oh, like I guess I didn't do it all myself. I guess I needed a big dick to swing in and help me. Okay, but that doesn't matter. But even more importantly than that is this idea of like you said. If like a sponsor is helping you and is like involved to any degree and is helping you like pitch the product to like a network or something, or even if you just have someone over your head at all who like wants to see how production is going, you suddenly get into the murky realm of like editorial control. And of course, what you would want is like some sort of agreement that the people get to do whatever they want.
What I want is just money. Just give me a fat slab of money and let me do what I want. I mean, I just
feel like it's inevitable. If people put in money, they're going like fucking Kickstarter backers and whatever. Of course, it's right on in black and white that like when you pledge, you're expecting a product, and if it like as long as you deliver what it says, they should be relatively satisfied. But like, what if the product is just not as good as they wanted? People could get mad. I mean. I don't remember the total saga of Mighty No. 9, but to my mind, the biggest problem with Mighty No. 9 was that it just wasn't that great a game and was delayed a lot, I think.
And also the people who made it were insulting to the fans of the thing.
I don't give a shit about that, but I get why people do care. That's fair. I mean, I understand. It's like what is their development of this game? A fucking hug box where you need to have your feelings respected. Okay,
but even like
you don't want to
people,
disrespect your investors.
These people paid money, to support your thing, and then you turn around and you shit on them.
But
that's
Mage, they had wrongthink. They were damn white cis patriarchal males.
That's not what I'm talking about. It's just like you don't insult the people who
right,
support you.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, so that's fair. But like, so even with like a Kickstarter model, you still have like a quote unquote boss over your head. And when let's say you have this billionaire investor, it just seems like inevitably. And this is the thing that so many like fucking the Pink Floyd song "Have a Cigar" or whatever. You get pulled into the smoke-filled room. And you sign the contract to get the money to make your album. But then when it comes to make the album and you make your song you all love, they say, ooh, I don't exactly like the message behind this song. Why don't you tweak this? And, ooh, I don't like this thing. I'm just going to shelve all this work.
Bottom line, I would not sign. First of all, I probably wouldn't sign a contract at all. But if I did, it would have to be that I really knew exactly what it was, Like,
yeah.
Like you said, you don't just work with any sponsor. You work with the ones that you actually think are good. So it would be difficult. It wouldn't just be a matter of finding somebody who's willing to throw money at us. It would be somebody who's going
to. Why would anyone throw money at us unless they already knew what we made?
I mean, currently Googling sponsors that will let me say the N-word and trying to find if we're even on target for this.
That who can say? I mean, I guess that's fair. But I feel like considering like the group and like kind of we make money here on the show and doing what we're doing, but like still relatively low amounts. Digi's in the strongest position to like negotiate because he's making the most. But like if someone came to me right now and said, "Hey, Nate, trying to make it as a content
Don't sign
creator,
the
huh?"
contract.
Well, I wouldn't, but I'm just saying that like there sure is a strong temptation when like your financial problems will go away if you sign this contract. But now you have a totally new problem of selling your soul and not being able to make what you want, possibly.
What are they going to do if
but
you
I'm
break
just saying
the
it's
contract?
tempting.
What happens if you break the contract?
I mean, typically with things like that, you like sometimes you have like I forget the name of the clause, but like you aren't allowed to do work in that field for like X number of years.
That's bullshit. That's not real. That's not
That's
a real.
no,
that's
a real
not
thing.
a real thing. It's impossible.
I mean,
how could they stop you?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it exists. I guess I could be wrong, but
I mean, it could
I
just
saw
be
it in
that
Mad Men the other day when I
I
was
would think
watching
that
some
they
Mad
would
Men clips.
blacklist you from getting jobs in that field at the very
Okay,
least.
there's got to be some sort of general repercussions to breaking contracts, I would assume.
I think it's mostly you would get blacklisted. You'd probably get fined. You would not
all the
be able
work
to
you
work
did
with-
under them isn't yours anymore,
Yeah.
probably,
They can't
and you don't
fine
make
you.
any money off
They
of it.
can't fine you. They're not a. How would they fine? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Okay,
Would they
I
just
know
take it
that
out of your
there's-
next paycheck? Well, they just stop paying you, right? That's the problem. So you just get it
But,
all up front.
what if-
you just get it
what
all
if
up
they
front and then
say-
say, "Ha, nice job, losers."
Okay, but here's just a thought. If you're responsible, this wouldn't be a problem, but maybe you've spent some of the money on production costs or whatever, and if you now decide, oh, well, I'm not going to finish this project, they're like, okay, give us back the money you spent. And then it's like...
let's not even speculate on
maybe.
how this works, since none of us have
Sure,
any fucking
sure.
idea. But,
Fair enough.
generally, I just say, don't sign the contract. DIY forever.
I haven't signed any contracts ever up to this point, except, I guess, the YouTube Partner Program and, I guess, Patreon's agreements and Kickstarters for those things. But those are, I mean, generally pretty good.
And the YouTube
so, yeah, I would
Terms of
definitely consider...
Service.
For all of those, I've been
I
very
mean, we've all
careful as
signed
to-
in blood. We all exist only at the whims of Amazon and Google, and only for their benefit.
Yeah, that's
Amazon?
pretty much true.
I don't know if Amazon has
Yeah,
much to
well,
do with my
Twitch.
career.
On Twitch.
Twitch, at least.
yeah.
I see.
To a degree.
don't make no
Well, I don't
money
know.
on that.
I mean, I would love to have a sponsor personally, but I just hope to find one that is reasonable. I'm still
We
working on
gotta
Fuel.
get Nataku, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching some
I
Count
doubt they care
Dankula
if we say
videos
the
lately.
N-word.
You're probably right. I was watching some Count Dankula videos, his Mad Lad series, which I find interesting and
fucking
enjoy.
hate that guy.
How dare
Okay, fair enough. But I
like
mean,
his
he did one on
He's
Bob Ross.
He's awful. He's a monster. But go on.
Okay, sure. Yeah, how
How?
dare he make
he's
his dog
cool.
do something funny? What a nightmare. How dare he tell a
That's
joke?
hey,
what a
fuck,
bad
hey,
person.
fuck you. He did other things beside that one thing.
Okay,
saw some
what
real,
did he
saw
do?
some real shit takes on Twitter the other
What-
day.
He's
Oh,
a
boy.
meme lord.
Okay, guys, let's not get it. I don't care about this at all. The point I was making was that he was shilling Raid Shadow Legends on his videos.
yeah.
Oh
Epic.
boy, I'm ready to sign up. And it just makes me be like, oh, I hate this video now. As long as that's up.
I mean, I feel that way
And-
every day, almost like fucking probably 50% of all videos I click on. I'm just like, if I have to hear about fucking NordVPN or Dollar Shave Club, I'm gonna kill somebody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have the same thing with just like Amino, of the app for the phones.
Right. Yeah.
I think
They
they actually
offer
did.
to everybody.
Yeah, they
sure
even
do.
reached out to me. I politely declined because I don't like Amino and I don't want to support them.
I got a
nobody
fucking
does.
VPN guy messaging me I've never heard of before. I don't know. Can these people solve my financial problems to any degree? That'd be nice. Is their product worth shilling in order to do so? I don't know. I mean, I haven't done it. Who will save me? Who will be a good sponsor? Huel, please. I love your product. I believe in you. Believe in me. Let me shill for you. Your new Huel Black product that has less carbs and more protein is the perfect thing for the modern lifting man. Let me sell it for you. I gotta fucking reach out to those guys again. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. These are complicated moral quandaries, I feel. One day I will find the solution. I would love just to make more money magically on Patreon, so I don't feel any desire to do these things. But that's not happening right now. So fuck me, I guess.
Well, shit.
Well, shit. That pretty much sums it up. I don't know. Left turn. Anybody got anything else they want to discuss? Christmas times or
We already
gifts
discussed
they got? Anybody get cool gifts?
We already
Did you get any cool
discussed
gifts,
that.
Nate?
It's your turn
Shit.
if you want to say something.
I got some wonderful new boots. I got my Christmas shoes. I put my money down on the counter and got Christmas shoes, and it was great. They are wonderful boots, and they have this beautiful zipper on the side. That's it. I love my boots. They're my favorite thing I got at Christmas. My Christmas shoes.
I got a onesie, and I feel the same about it. I love my onesie.
I got Michelle a onesie that she seems to like, which is very nice.
Yes, that's good.
But tragically, it doesn't have a butt flap. And I was thinking about this. That probably is really annoying if you have to go to the bathroom to not have a butt flap.
That is inconvenient.
You know what I'm saying? Well, that's life, baby. In the big city. No butt flaps. Tragedy strikes constantly. All right. I'm out of shit to say, I guess. Anybody else got anything? We got the voicemails. That's why I spent the beginning of this podcast
Go
prepping.
for it, dog. Go
All right,
for
let's
it,
do it.
dude.
I just want to reiterate, fuck you. It's not about the dog thing. Count
Okay,
Dankula is a
understood,
bad man
understood.
in many ways.
Oh,
Oh
cares?
no.
I respect your
There-
opinion.
Bad
and there,
man
and,
said
and there you
tweet.
go. He's a very bad.
but he looks cool.
I don't understand how
does he
he's
look?
bad.
Does he look cool?
He's got a commie star in him, Ben. You should love that.
No, he doesn't. What are you talking
Yes, he
about?
Yeah, he
does.
does. He has a tattoo of the fucking hammer and sickle and a big star.
Yep.
Does okay? Is it ironic?
This is from his youth. It wasn't at the time, but he's changed his beliefs since then. So now it's just, an epic goof on himself. I don't know.
All right. Okay. Whatever. I know you guys
Yeah,
don't
alright.
care. It's fine. Go on.
Yeah,
What's next?
That's fair, Ben. I shouldn't have jumped and assumed it was the dog thing. That's just the thing I know the most. So fair enough. You can have other reasons to dislike him.
I mean, he was
Not
in
trying to be an
UKIP,
asshole
so
here.
there's that.
I haven't seen his tweets, but from what I've seen, I haven't seen anything too awful.
He's real bad.
Oh
I
no,
would,
he's a meme lord. He says offensive things. I am hurt.
He likes fascism. He really hates. He
He
really
does
hates.
not
kinda
like
doubt that.
fascism.
He really hates
Oh.
justice.
Oh my god.
He's definitely
All
like
right.
a conservative ghoul.
I
Which
like
makes you
how
which
you're
makes you a
wrong.
bad person.
I like
so-
how you're like absolutely wrong.
No, I don't really think so.
I
I really
so.
don't.
I think
Okay.
so.
Okay,
Well,
well,
I
hey,
don't
he
fucking
he
care.
ran. He ran for
Opinions here,
UKIP,
folks.
right? He ran for UKIP.
And then he
Run
left
for-
He did.
because
He
they
was
were
in
stupid.
UKIP.
Okay. All right.
true.
That's fine. It's all good.
Voicemail.
All
Well,
good.
lads, luckily for you, the political discourse is about to be solved. We've got Speak Bite voicemails. We need to listen up. We've got a couple of voicemails that are all about this issue. Our first message is from the one and the only, Centrist Sam, is calling in with everything we need to know about politics. Let's hear what he has to say. Take it away, Sam.
Hey guys, it's me, Centrist Sam.
Yay!
Want to know what I think about politics?
I do.
Please.
What are they?
Great.
Oh my
Thank
God.
you for
What
clarifying.
are they?
He's right.
What are they? He's so right.
I
okay,
never
let's
thought
not
of
pause
it like
on
that
this.
before.
We've got to keep going because this is followed by a hero of the people. Leftist Larry is following up on this message. Let's see what
How
he
many?
has to
How
say.
many of these fucking guys are there?
They're endless. All right,
Okay.
Larry, what have you got for us?
Hey guys, it's me, Leftist Larry.
No.
Want to know what I think about white people?
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
What are they?
Damn. You're saying all the right things, Larry.
Got me, but I didn't expect it somehow.
That's incredible. All right, and
I
now-
thought he would never go for it.
it was
What
brave
a brave
and true.
take.
God,
We've got a final message.
No.
From our
What
hero.
I think I've heard enough.
Right wing
want it.
Richard has
I
to
want it.
balance the scales here. Let's
Okay.
hear what our friend Richard has to say on the other side of the political spectrum. Rich, Dick, take it away.
Hey guys, it's me, Right Ring Richard.
Oh.
Want to know what I think about North Korea?
Thanks, Rich.
No, what are they?
That's it.
It's just
No, he
nuclear-
did a subversion. He did
I
a
guess he
subversion.
blew up.
Nobody
North
likes
Korea?
North Korea. That's something we
Um,
can all agree on.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I don't know. They seem fine.
Consider the literacy rate.
What have they even done?
Consider the hospital system. I don't know. Something.
They're pretty bad. Is this a hot take that North Korea is bad?
North Korea? Not
I don't
that
think
bad.
so. I think it's,
Well, I don't know. Well, how much
I mean,
can you blame the people
I
of
hear
North
it's-
Korea as opposed to the leadership?
it's not
I
as
don't know.
bad as you imagine, but it's also bad.
That's
what I hear.
Possible.
Okay.
I mean, I don't like the idea of my family being gulagged if I speak against the state. And like 3 generations of my family?
Yeah.
Do they breed them in captivity?
Don't they have like a
something?
total like media blackout from like media outside of North Korea?
That's not as true as it seems. That's what I mean by like there's stuff that you hear, but if you investigate it, it's like halfway between the truth and not. But I mean, it is still it's still North fucking Korea. I mean, it is what it is. But
I don't remember the details, but didn't Kim Jong-un like kill his brother who was like on the run or something? Didn't that happen?
I have no idea.
You know
I
what?
will say this: that
Don't worry about it.
at least in the like main city of North Korea, they have one thing that we need to copy, which is that their buildings are all like pink and blue and shit.
That
like,
sounds nice.
They paint all their buildings
Whoa.
and it looks really good.
Is North Korea saying trans rights? Guys.
Oh my God, North Korea just
we're
said
doing
trans
it.
rights.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you, North Korea.
Wait,
you know
where?
what?
Huh?
I wanna-
What?
We
The buildings are pink and
excuse
blue,
me?
Ben.
The
Nice.
buildings are pink and blue, so obviously they're saying trans rights. We need to get a Kim Jong-un bumper sticker. It's just his face and it says trans rights under it.
Maybe we can get a nice
Print it,
picture
ship
of the
it.
city. Yeah, that sounds great. All right, moving over. Oh, okay, here we go. We've got an open letter to a certain Conrad. Let's hear a certain magical Conrad.
Who the fuck
Let's
is
see what he has to
Conrad?
say. No one knows, but let's hear him out. Go.
Conrad is either the bravest person alive or the stupidest. His fucking
Probably
obsession with trying each and every restaurant surrounding whatever place he happens to be absolutely baffles me.
Okay.
The first
Why?
Avengers movie came out in 2012, 7 years ago. In the post-credit
Right.
scene, we find our heroes enjoying a delicious-looking meal of
Shawarma.
Greek shawarma. Flash
Right,
forwards
right.
to now, 7 years later. I go into this shop I've been driving past in my town for 20 years or so, where I pay $9 for an underheated, thin-breaded, autistic taco-looking motherfucker with crunchy chicken and overbearing cucumber, which I painfully vomit up that night. A vomit 7
Okay.
fucking years in the making. And
Right.
I just can't fathom how he can waste his life like this, and it fills me with
Okay.
impotent rage.
Well,
Fuck you, Conrad.
I mean, it sounds like
Agreed.
he saw the Avengers, and it incepted him to want a shawarma, but he did not
Yes.
try it until recently, and it made him
Yeah.
puke his brains out. First of all, I've never tried a shawarma. I don't really fuck with Greek food that much.
The word sounds terrible. I don't want to have one.
It doesn't sound. I don't like gyros. In general, I don't like that weird sour.
Does anyone else
cream-esque
associate the
stuff.
word shawarma with swamp ass? In my mind, the two terms have overlapped completely.
No.
And I think of them at the same time. Okay, maybe just...
Well, now I will. But I mean, okay. I don't think that guy. It's not that I like literally systematically start from like my house and like in a radial motion go to every restaurant nearby. I try out all the ones that sound good. Like I don't.
Yeah.
If I'm on Google Maps and it's like 2 stars, I'm like, don't know what you have to do to get 2 stars on Google Maps, but it can't be good, But I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of restaurants in any
Well, I
given
mean, this
real city.
his hot take is, hot take. Don't try new things. Fair.
I have
Cool.
never had an experience as bad as what that guy sounds like he had. So I'm sorry that
know-
your one roll of the dice came up snake eyes.
Me
but,
and Michelle, when my parents were in town, I mean, when you were here, we went to like that great steak place, what's it called? The Precinct, right. It's a
that
famous
place
steak
is
place in
lit.
Cincinnati. It's fantastic. It's expensive. When my parents were here, I upped the ante to the #1 rated fucking place in Cincinnati, which is the Orchard. It's a hotel restaurant, and it is amazing. We all loved our food, but Michelle fucking puked afterward because something just didn't sit right at the most expensive fucking restaurant, the #1 rated place. Maybe they undercooked something.
There's
Probably
no-
just didn't
there's
agree
no-
with her.
I
There's
do
just-
feel like a
there's no
fancy
accounting.
place
After
would-
a certain
accounting.
price point, there's just no real correlation of quality to price.
That's not true.
Yeah, kind of.
It is
True. I
depends. That
swear
is-
to God.
That is
believe
entirely
you.
dependent on the individual place and the.
I mean, you're playing
the
for
food you're
atmosphere
getting.
here to a large. Like they got a live
Yes.
band going.
I mean, it
atmosphere is
depends because,
great.
like, I mean, there's some places where
Yeah.
yes, everything is overpriced, and then there's
Yeah.
other places where it's not. And I mean, you just gotta suss it out, you know. With the, I mean, it's hard to do that with like really expensive restaurants. Like take a roll of the dice on that. But I mean, I absolutely believe that there are steakhouses that'll charge you $70 where I will not like that steak as much as I'll like $8 Thai food dish. Like I'm sure that's
always
a thing.
possible. I like all those YouTube videos that compare like it's like the $20 billion Stradivarius violin
The
versus like a
Epicurious
$20. And I don't know who does them, but yeah, anything comparing cheap shit versus expensive shit.
Well,
is
Epicurious does
fascinating.
a show where it's like they'll have an expert in like mustard come on and like test out cheap versus expensive
those.
mustard.
I
watch all
those.
those. And it always comes out that like the price difference does matter. It's just not that it necessarily matters to you. It's like, hey,
That's fair.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the difference between these two things, but the cheap one is still good. You would still enjoy it. There's no reason to spend $12 on noodles. Like they'll often say shit like that, but
Yeah,
except for
we're
the
blowing
steak
this
episode.
capitalism game
That was
wide
the
open.
only one where the steak episode was like, look, when it comes to steak, there are 7 grades of beef, and if you want to buy the highest grade beef, it will cost you a fucking lot of money.
Is it worth it at all in that case?
I mean that's according to people who eat steaks, yes. I mean this was a
Okay,
huge
okay.
argument on the old Biggest Problem in the Universe where Maddox thought that Maddox thought that any steak over $30 was not any different. That like it was $30 was the cap, and
I
Dick
remember
was
Dick
like,
arguing
no,
that,
not at all, because he goes to steakhouses and
I
we'll
think
flip
I would
like that.
probably be like I probably could tell the difference between like a $60 steak and a $30 steak, but like there's no way that I'd be like, boy, I sure am glad I spent $30 extra on that steak.
Right,
It was
and that's
totally
the,
worth
that's
it.
That's the
Right,
rub is that like it is diminishing returns no matter what, because like I mean 80% of the way there is just having steak at all. Like that's
Consider
most of the
situation,
battle.
though. Consider the situation from the perspective like of a person with infinite money, and then you have all like, of course, yeah, sure, get the most expensive one.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean,
Why the
and not
fuck
even just the most expensive, but you can experiment with all the expensive ones and figure out which one's actually the best, which is what I would do if I had, like, if I was super rich and I could just flip on whatever, I would definitely try, like, every piece of expensive cuisine, but I would never just, like, be, oh, this one's the most expensive, so that's where I'm going every time, or this is the most famous, which is how a lot of people think.
If I was rich, if I had the money to do it, I would get a personal chef to prepare me both delicious and nutritionally macronutrient and micronutrient satisfying meals for every meal of the day. Oh, that would be the greatest gift. That's my Kokoro wish. Make it happen, people. Okay. By going to patreon.com/theprocrastinators, or better yet, patreon.com/bestgaffer. Okay, next voicemail, we've got, who is this from? This is, you have to get out Nate. Okay,
Oh
go.
no.
Okay, so it's came to my attention that something needs to be addressed. So I just wanted to have a little powwow with you guys, a little sit down, if you will. Me, your dad.
Good.
Everybody says about how Mage grew up in this dystopian fucking nightmare hellhole, but no one really mentions the fact that Nate is living in one right now.
Yeah,
especially in like Fairfield and like over the
I
Rhine
mentioned
and
it.
shit like that.
That's true.
As kind of a little example, just the other day in Coleraine, a group of I think like 150 to probably like 180 underage teens decided to have a battle royale at Northgate Mall. And I'm not talking about no Fortnite bullshit. I'm saying like an actual. They went in and whooped each other's ass just because.
It sounds
Not only
fucking
that,
awesome.
but when I lived there, I think I was like either 9 or 10. I was in Fairfield. I was just riding my bike down the road, being a good little fucking boy. And I seen a guy. It was a bad drug deal, but one guy stabbed another guy in the fucking neck.
Damn.
Shit.
So yeah, point of me calling in is just to kind of tell you guys, get the fuck out of Cincinnati, Nate.
There are nice neighborhoods, but
You don't
I don't live in
you
them.
don't have much nice to say about Cincinnati, Nate.
You know,
sucks. It's first of all, ugly city, dirty. Grimy.
It looks nice from a distance.
It looks
I've
ghetto,
never been.
even in
I've
the parts
never been.
that aren't ghetto. It's way too spread out. Like I thought Virginia Beach was spread out. Fucking Cincinnati is like another level.
Oh,
Nate drove like 25 minutes to the fucking Walmart. Like,
there's one like 15, 20 minutes away, something like that. It's not the closest in the world. I mean, I'm in the center of the city.
On average, if you have to drive anywhere, how long will you be driving for?
I would say 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 for things.
See, for me, it's
happen
like
to be
30
away.
seconds is like the average driving time. You know.
Okay. Well,
Just
I
saying,
mean,
too spread out.
I don't like to encourage her because I think it is bad for both of our psychological health. But Michelle moved here from fucking Hawaii, so naturally there was which I'd like to think means she really cares and she really values my presence.
I guess
but
so.
Who fucking
she moved
knows?
to the fucking ghetto.
I guess she must, right? Yeah. And man, my first apartment, you saw it, did you? My first apartment, that's where Michelle moved in with me.
It was a sweltering hell of.
It was a nightmare place, but we lived there together for like 6 months before we moved. I cannot believe she did that, which again, I guess she likes me. That's pretty cool. But I don't like to encourage it. Michelle's like, Nate, this place kind of sucks, and like we should definitely leave. And now that I don't, my job doesn't tie me here. We should, in fact.
I mean, we're literally planning to do this, right? Like we're planning to do a Kickstarter.
Yeah, this is the plan. This is the plan.
Move Nate out. So if anybody heard that voicemail and was like, "Wow, we need to get Nate the fuck out of there," well, there's an easy way to do that. It's called
set aside your pennies.
It's called $5,000.
I'm keeping it at 4, but yes, 5 would be nice.
It's called $4,000. All we need is $4,000. Get Nate out. Somebody could probably fund that by themselves, honestly.
Russell, you're our main benefactor around these areas. You want to
just
somebody wants to drop me?
Just drop $4,000 on moving.
Next time I'm streaming, Russell. Next time we can set aside rules. You'll be a gas
or anybody,
man.
so that we can
that's only
leave
like
this open.
Only 400,000 bits will do it.
Indeed. 400,000. You're right. Sounds good to me. Mr. Beast, you like to give people money. Call into the show. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Oh, okay. We've got, speaking of Nate's streams, we've got a message here from some mysterious individual just called To the Left. Let's hear what he has to say. Take it away.
Hey, BCP. Sorry if you've heard this one before, but Voicemail God is feeling pretty fucking smug right now. I just killed 4 of Nate's Pokemon in his Nuzlocke.
Yeah.
S.M.A.R.T, bro. True. Took one step too far to the left, got fucked. And
never go too far left, guys.
Saint. So, yeah. Anyways, get fucked.
Is this Sean?
This is Sean, aka Voicemail God.
God what an asshole!
My rival.
Fucking
in the stream.
Hate that guy.
You know, let me just frame this because this is hilarious.
We gotta do something about him. He's a fucking
He killed
menace.
you, Ben. He killed you.
Yeah, first he stole my status as rival, and then he killed me on top of it.
You know, it's funny, Ben. Everyone was saying,
what does he have against me?
He believes in capitalism. It served him well to be the. He believes in the free market, and that's no good. That's no good.
I guess.
Well,
so.
that lovely art of you and me together, my hoot, Ben Saint, and I, the trainer, going around having a great time. Everyone was saying, "Don't let Ben Saint near you. He's whispering leftist ideology into your ear, Nate. He's dragging you to the left. He's dragging you to the left."
Well, good thing I died. So
I said, "It's fine. But then, I mean, I don't know if you were actually there, but literally in the game of Pokemon." I was just wandering around the city, getting ready to do the gym. I took one step too far to the left. It triggered the fucking Voicemail God rival battle, and I was slaughtered by a level 18 Croconaut, or the second Totodile evolution.
You know what?
It is.
I'm glad.
It was a nightmare.
You know what?
So I learned my lesson.
I probably
learned my lesson.
meant
Don't go too far. Don't let Ben whisper in your ear. Don't go too far left. Don't even one step too far.
That
will
sounds
kill
like
you.
something I would do. So
yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah. All right. I died doing what I loved, radicalizing my fellow PCP members and causing destruction.
Well, you know, he went out a martyr, I would say. So congratulations, everybody. We had a great time. And the good news is it's now a real Nuzlocke. There has been the first genocide. It's things are getting serious now. Oh God, it's a nightmare. Okay, moving on from that, we got 2 more left. This one's from I'll Die. on SMART goals for New Year's resolutions. Okay, I'll take it away.
Hey, Nate. So you were trying to remember an acronym at the end of last episode for goal setting, which was SMART goals. Some people may not know about it,
That's
so
right.
I figured it's worth mentioning. It stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. So something like I will
it's
lose
realistic.
X number of pounds by this specific date, which tells
Actually,
you what
it's
you're
both,
doing, gives you a metric of success, it's relevant to something that will actually benefit your life, has a deadline to keep you motivated, as opposed to I will exercise more, which doesn't establish any plan of action, and once you say it, you're not actually beholden to anything. If resolutions come up on the podcast, you probably agree it's worth putting out there in case it helps anyone out.
Yep.
You don't even need to play this voicemail. You can just write down the acronym and bring it up if you want. Or not if you don't want. Or you could play the voicemail and, waste everyone's time.
Don't tell me what to do!
And make it to the end of it. Or you
I
could stop it
chose to
early
waste
and
everyone's
not waste
time.
anyone's time. That's all. Bye.
I choose to do so. Yes, it's great. All right, hey, I put a little image in the thing. He said relevant as opposed to realistic. Doesn't matter. Both are the same thing. Yeah, SMART goals. That's what I was trying to think of last time. Just like me, Ben, and Digi, our goals are... Okay, my goal, I think, is good. Work out 3 times a week for the month of January. That is attainable, that's specific, and, I don't have, it's time-bound. I think it checks all the boxes. This nebulous goal of stick to a diet is perhaps a little vague, but I think you and Tom know what you're doing, so I'm not too worried about you. But for other people who are starting something, use these. Use this as your measure. It is... I learned... Oh, you know what I was going to say about this? The first place I heard about SMART goals was from my boy, Scooby1961, my big gay fitness god, who I love like a father and a son, and he's my favorite person in the world. He's such a hero. Did all this fitness shit for free. And actually, you know what? He was literally one of the first YouTubers.
Nate. We know about Scooby. Fuck.
Okay, wait.
I swear you've given this exact spiel many times.
I'm not giving a full spiel. I was just gonna say that. Did you know that this guy, before YouTube existed, he actually paid to host his videos for people to download? And when YouTube came out, he was like, "Wow, I can't wait to save money by not having to pay to host my fucking videos."
Isn't that what everybody was thinking when YouTube came out? Who had videos on the internet?
He's the oldest one I know. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, there is actually news about Scooby I wanted to say, which was just that it seems he is in fact retiring from fitness videos on YouTube, and he's changing his channel to it's Scooby's travel vlogs, which he's been doing for a long time.
Makes sense.
And it's the fucking end of an era, it seems, with his fitness uploads, and instead he's just kind of gonna be taking it easy and relaxing more.
That
and I
dude's
just want to give
old
my
as
thanks.
balls, right?
He's in his
gotta
60s.
be 60.
He's in his 60s. He's deep in his 60s now, and he's been doing this for so fucking long, at almost no benefit. And whatever, he retired early. He's a great guy. And I just want to say, guys, here's maybe the last time I'll mention Scooby on the podcast, but he's created such a wealth of content on his channel and on his website. I think it's Scooby Workshop. Go there if you're looking for fitness help. There's so much of good to help you achieve these things. I learned about SMART goals from him. There you go. He's a great guy. I'll love him forever. Thank you, Scooby, for everything you've done. I'm feeling a lot of end of the decade, end of era stuff going on right now, and it feels like this is one of them. So thanks again, Scooby. All right. Anyway, we've got one last voicemail coming from... Who is this? Oh yeah, this is it's whispering ASMR style, so mom doesn't hear. Okay, let's hear what this had to say. Hang on, bear with me.
Better get my dick out for this one.
Yeah, it's time, boys. Lube up. All right, here we go and go.
I have something to get off my chest. Other than this twink teensy bee groupies BBC I'm being tit-fucked by. And, well, that's the problem. See, I'm a freshman in high school, and as would be assumed, I'm trying, man. I'm in the trenches. It's some full-on Vietnam shit. I've got yellow malaria. So, here I am, going hard in the taint, talking to mad girls like a real human being. That's when it hit me. After becoming kinda close with a couple of them, I realized that I'm just the token gay. It's already an uphill battle being short and Jewish, but no matter how hard I try, I'm unavailable, because they think I'm gay. Either they treat me like the gay guy friend in a group of girls, or they think I'm gay and fully off the market. Please, PCP, as the gayest council of individuals I could find, help me swallow my pain and find a solution to this AIDS epidemic.
I know the solution.
Yeah,
I know the solution. You just tell them you want to fuck them.
Yeah,
just whip your dick out on the table.
Ask one of them out.
Oh yeah, just like bro, I could. This is Teen CP, I think, calling in. I just like consider the way that you're framing this. You're like, after getting close to a bunch of these girls, then they started to think I was gay. So look, you're a young man. I understand this. I was far worse than you probably. I didn't do anything until I was like fucking 20 with any girls. But like, just consider the fact that you're like not making any moves until you are like already like friends with them. That's a terrible approach.
If you're even speaking to a woman, you've already made it past every hurdle. That's the only thing you're supposed to have to do is speak to them, and then if you figure out within like very quickly if that's supposed to go anywhere or not. Like if you're not figuring out where it's going quick, you got to swerve to the next one. Like if they're not, if they don't seem interested, you got to move on. Quick.
Yeah.
We're in a delicate social marketplace right now, a sexual marketplace. I understand that. I too was absolutely confused, had no fucking idea what I was doing growing up. But like, consider this. It's not sexual assault to let a woman know you are attracted to her or interested in her. Who
said it was sexual assault?
I'm exaggerating for comedic effect, Ben. This is the point of what I'm saying. But like the point is, like, you can say to a girl, like, hey, I think you're cute. Want to go out sometime? If you just say that sentence, boom, they know you're not gay. So you're over that hurdle at least. And if they say no, then you're like, okay.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this "want to go out sometime" meme.
Okay, sure.
What does that mean? I feel like
it's a social
I feel like that's a dumb
icebreaker.
line. I feel like that's a shit line because you
gotta get her alone, to have your way with her.
I think that it's I think you need to have a specific plan.
Sure.
I think if you're like, why don't we go out sometime? What is?
Oh no, yeah, it's better. If
you're right, Ben. You're right.
With already a date and time and you start with a suggestion, then you follow up with the date and time suggestion. So like,
okay,
I'm gonna do this at this time. Do you want to do that with me?
Or it could be hey, let's go see a movie. I'm free Thursday at 6. How about you? And then it's like, you've already set up. You don't. The onus is not on her to come up with a date and time. But if she can't do Thursday at 6, then then she has another time in mind. But like, you got to start off with a time in mind. Yeah. What do you think about doing this? Here's when I want to do it. Are you available? No. Well, fuck me. But like, you gotta make it. You gotta send some kind of clear signal in the early developmental stages, because I think a lot of guys think of women as like, oh, I'll befriend a girl and then I know I like her, so I'll start dating her. But I don't think I especially don't think girls tend to think that way. I think they tend to think like, I'll date a guy and find out if I like him, because you don't find out what it's like to date somebody by being friends with them. It's a totally different experience. So like, you need to approach it like, it's not about dating a friend. It's about dating someone and figuring out if that's going to be good or not.
If you become a platonic friend with someone, then you have established your relationship as a platonic one.
Yep.
I mean,
it's not impossible to break out of.
I guess I'm a...
Mage, your advice sounds terrible already, and it's totally wrong.
No, fuck Mage you, Nate. What does Mage think about it?
It's irrelevant.
I still want to know.
No, I think I'm just a little bit different from most people. But back when I used to like guys that are not my current boyfriend, it was usually people I befriended. Like guys that were my friends, and it's like, oh, I get along with him so well, and I kind of would develop a crush just from being, friends with them.
That's a fine perspective, Mage. But frankly, your position there is from the female perspective, which I get. But for a guy who's trying to get a girl, and you don't have like a girl you love right now or whatever.
Mage. Well, I want to know. I mean, from that perspective, what should the caller do?
I don't really want to give advice because, like I said, I don't
He's
feel
been
like
gay zoned, Mage. Help.
I mean, if you're friends with her and you're getting along with her, I think asking her out is a fine enough advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be
so we all,
experience.
Even Mage, who is completely on the exact opposite spectrum, right? He has the exact opposite perspective. We all just think, we'll just ask him out. Just tell me you want to fuck.
Yes.
I mean, that's the bottom line. It's the only way to do it. Like, there is no beginning of a relationship until somebody says, let's start a relationship. It doesn't... you will just fall into a groove of being friends and hanging out until somebody says like, we have to take this to a new level, or else it's not what I intended it to be. You know, it will not progress until somebody puts their foot down and says something.
Stop me if I'm crazy, but I feel like there's a pattern here, wherein like every time someone calls in to ask a relationship question or a dating question, the answer is always just fucking tell them you want to go on a date.
You're absolutely right.
Well, I mean,
just tell them you want to fuck.
Right.
Because the bottom line is that communication is everything. It's 100% of what a relationship is just communication. So you need to be as clear as possible in your communication if you want people to understand you, as a just general rule of life. At all times, if you want anybody to know what you're thinking, if you want them to figure out your intention, fucking tell them.
It's not that hard.
And make sure that the person you're asking out is receptive to communication, because there are some awful people that don't like to talk things out, are sneaky about it, are not honest, and you're just like, oh, I'm fine, and then you don't text them, and then they're angry about it. It's just awful.
Stop talking to those people. Just don't hang out with anybody.
As a separate piece of advice, don't talk to those people.
If they play mind games, don't play with them. You go to another table, play with other people.
I think the main thing is just be a person of action and progress through these things. Don't get yourself stuck in the mud, slaving over some, I don't know. I mean, you obviously don't want one-itis, but you also don't want, like, I'm not saying be callous, but, like, don't waste your time either. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, from the way he told that story, it sounded like he kind of became friends with like a group of girls or something, and they see him as the token gay.
Here's my question
step one,
for this man.
Break them off from each other. You can't have them in a group. You have no, like, you will be seen as a token gay if you're just surrounded by girls. So
isolate them from their social groups, right? Inflict emotional pain on them, and then establish yourself as the only one who can provide relief from that same pain, right? Keep them coming back.
Isn't that something that like what's his name would say?
Dennis?
Roosh V.
Yeah. It's
Ben, I'm curious. How do you feel about Roosh now that you've turned your? I know you had met him before and maybe thought he was okay. But
I don't know. I haven't read his stuff in a while. Yeah,
he's very, very against anal sex.
Okay.
Very not a fan. He thinks that anal sex is a sign to turn us all gay.
Oh God, no. Why did my fucking headphones have to die right now?
Oh, no.
Okay. Modern Roosh, I'm sorry if I'm talking over anyone. I legitimately can't hear anything. I'm just going to go for a second until I get my headphones back working. Modern Roosh is a fucking mutant. He is a creep and a monster, and I hate him and detest him, and he has become bad and scary and dark inside. I mean, I think back in the day when I used to read him, he wasn't okay. He mostly just offered some pretty normal advice. He would occasionally say some kind of fucked up shit, but he always kind of said it with a wink and a nod. So it was like, he's just joking about that.
Now there's no winks or nods. Now it's just fucking weird.
As so often happens, later on, the truth comes out. He's like, I think some of, maybe a lot of it wasn't jokes. He maybe wanted me to think. So
I mean, it's gotten strange because he called into the Dick Show one time, and even within his appearance, it was very strange because again, he was railing against anal sex and talking about how porn is trying to turn us all into.
Is this just an anti-gay thing, or is this between men
and
women
It's all kinds of shit. He's he's a very traditional values in terms of
He didn't really used to be like that, but
weird.
No, he wasn't. Not at all. Not at all.
He's become like that.
Yeah, I think he might on some level be one of those preserve the white race kind of guys. I think there's a little bit of that.
Is he even white though? Well, it doesn't matter. I
think he's. I don't know. I think he is technically.
He's
very traditional values. Yeah. He's very Judeo-Christian
but
values,
from a weird robotic place.
And there's a big overlap. There's a big overlap between those people and the ethnostaters.
Yeah. Well, like you said, Ben, when you read his stuff, it feels weirdly robotic and alien. It doesn't sound human. It's like somebody who's extremely concerned about human values while having no humanity.
I feel that I understand Roos's progression pretty well, which was just that, I'm sure he would say it as a matter of rote. I've listened to some of his stuff out of interest in this. I didn't read his books, but I don't know. I kind of wanted to. I knew Ben had read them, so I thought they were in my sphere.
I remember
he was a big like go around like fuck as many women as possible. But then at a certain point in his life, he was like, I'm not getting much emotional or personal fulfillment from this anymore. Like now, what I now want is like a long-term, lasting relationship with a woman. But he's also
like, I guess he's Armenian because I went to his Twitter and the first thing it says is Armenian Orthodox with one of those little cross logos on it.
Cool.
Hell yeah.
All right.
I guess that's where he's at. I'm gonna try to scroll through his Twitter and find some of his anal sex tapes.
I remember there's a bit in like one of his books.
Oh, here's
that's
a Jew
like,
take right away. So
really? Oh no. Is he Roosh V on Twitter?
Yeah, just Roosh V. I believe so.
Roosh V. Looks like him. 64K followers. Yeah, it's probably him. 5 Orthodox Jews you wounded in Hanukkah machete attack by black male in New York. Roosh says a certain tribe is losing control over their frontline soldiers. What the fuck does that mean?
Wait, what? Wait,
I'm looking at his. I just see anal sex is not natural. It's disgusting. While linking to an anal sex article, he's just. Like,
you can
really
think that, I
anal
guess,
sex.
but whatever, dude. Fine.
Yeah, and he also thinks you should not have sex out of wedlock now. That's
so true.
Yeah,
so
and
true,
it's
bro.
not just him thing. He just thinks people shouldn't do it when he spent like his entire life doing it.
So his response to somebody talking about the conversation on consent is, "You're on the road to hell if you're concerned about consent. Get married if you want to have sex."
Oh my god.
This is just a very traditional perspective, I guess.
The outspoken atheist thirsts for God the most. He cries out in anger and despair, "Please, someone, help me receive the faith. Help me be humble. Help release me from the thoughts of demons." Is this for real?
I told you, dude, he's gotten really weird.
This is worse than I thought.
I wish I could have. I don't know. I don't want to be an asshole about it, but I wish I could have any respect for like the argument for religiosity. Outside of a society does better when it has religion. Okay, maybe true, fine. Maybe atheism will lead to death, but I'm still not fucking convinced by the argument at all. Yeah. There's
Make
no
up a
reason.
better religion.
That's the solution. Make up a better culture that has some totems that
we
fulfill
can worship. There's tons of countries and cultures out there who really treat like their like they treat their own morals as a sort of religion. Like there's
fine, I guess.
I was watching this video about like 5 extremely small towns, and there's this one extremely small town in Japan who has become obsessed with recycling because they decided to have they used to burn all their waste just like in their fucking yards, I guess, like they just didn't give a shit. They found out how bad and dangerous this was, so their town implemented a zero waste policy. There is no trash out of this city at all. Everybody is obsessed with like separating their trash into like 30 something different categories of trash, but like everybody does it and they all like got into it, like once they realized that like, hey, as long as I just think about the stuff I have differently, like I realize none of this has to be wasted, like this can all go back in. So like everybody in this town treats recycling like a religion. That's all people need. They just need that kind of guidance. They will turn it into a religion themselves, by obsessing over it.
You might be
right. Like, if you're gonna make people have some kind of moral compass to cling to, or give them something, like, don't make it some weird, random, fucking made-up bullshit from 3,000 years ago. Like,
fair enough. You know who was into zero waste? Michelle was literally like a vegan and an actual zero waste.
What is zero waste?
Where your whole perspective, like everything you consume in life, should produce no trash, just recyclables, and you recycle everything such that you can't control what the recycling people do once you give them the bottles, and they don't recycle everything. But you can, do your part to get it as best you can. And like here's one thing I never thought of. I always thought like, how am I gonna straws? Straws always confounded me because there's no way you could recycle a straw, right? It's too small. But then Michelle fucking moved in and she brought her reusable straws with their special scrubber that you use to go into the straws to clean the inside of the straws. And now half the dishes are straws that need to be scrubbed out from the inside. She's not zero waste anymore, but we still have those. And frankly, I think they're pretty cool. I like them. I enjoy scrubbing out those straws. It's fun to be
I'm glad.
I see.
Thank you,
Of course, Roosh had a shitty take about J.K. Rowling. That's great. That makes.
Are
me
you
real
still
happy.
scrolling through his? You should stop. It's
Ben, you'll just get mad.
It's not a good
you hate
run.
the guy.
I was already mad. So yeah,
Okay, all right.
this is just.
Fair.
I'm just. Okay. It's
the
over.
temptation
Here's some more Roosh tweet for you. Porn should be banned. It serves no purpose but to destroy the mind, body, and soul.
I
Okay.
guess freedom is not good or allowed. Fair enough. Okay. I mean, if that's your perspective, then fair.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Oh my God, porn is human trafficking, guys. Did you know that?
Oh
Oh my
my
God,
God,
consenting
porn
adults
is-
can't consent to things.
See,
What a nightmare.
This is
No,
the
it's true.
one the luck that you have run into, Ben, by not following any right wing stuff, because this is what's going on in
I know.
in the
I know.
right-wing
No,
sphere.
I'm aware. I'm aware that like
There's a
that
big,
the
weird
alt-right-
porn
the
war going
alt-right
on.
is anti-porn now. Yeah. 'Cause,
No,
like,
it's
Gab-
not that. It's that there's a huge war, and that it's really like only 5 or 6 fucking insane people who really hate porn who are like rallying against it, and everybody
They're
else
just jealous.
raising an eyebrow and going, "What the fuck? Like, why are you guys
I
bringing
agree,
this up?"
Mage.
I think it's a psyop. I think it's
Well,
an attempt.
Gab banned porn, right? That's
Yeah,
part
they
of it,
sure
right?
did.
Yes, it was
Which
that
was
the
fucking
guy who runs
retarded.
Gab went on this like gigantic anti-porn tear and just like
How can you be a
flipped
free
shit.
speech platform and then just like they did
Fucking
lolly porn a
search
while back?
me.
They did all kinds
These
of
people
fucking
don't.
shit.
These people don't give a shit about free speech.
No, they do not.
They don't give a.
I mean,
fuck.
just look, you can make an argument that like, look, pragmatically, free speech has consequences, so I'm not ultimately for it, like completely. Like, okay, fine, but then you can't have that as your whatever.
You
we
can't
all know
make
this shit.
the free speech alternative to Twitter and then fucking ban speech off of
It's
it.
no
That's
longer-
allowed
it's just-
on fucking Twitter.
It's just
So
the
inane.
conservative platform now. You know, that's fine. You can
Yeah.
do that, but it's great. Whatever. Fucking.
I'm honestly like a little mad that even BitChute doesn't have porn on it. Honestly, like you can't post
yeah.
explicit sex on there. Why not?
Fucking Medicare can post like fucking surgery fucked up, but porn is not allowed. Are you fucking
shows
kidding
dicks, shows fucking
Yeah.
dicks and stuff.
You just
I
can't
guess
be. I mean,
educational,
they have
I
a not safe for life tag that you can like
Oh.
flag. You can have your video be not safe for life, but you cannot show explicit sex.
That's
So,
it's
retarded.
retarded. What the fuck?
Is
All
it
right,
is
you
it
know
maybe
what?
there's some sort of law wherever they're being hosted or something against
Not that
it?
I know
Well,
of, but it could be.
Maybe. If so, then I guess I understand it pragmatically. Okay. I was. By the way, just going back, I was just gonna say one last thing to our whispering ASMR Teen CP guy about the whole gay girl getting a girl thing. Have you ever asked a girl out in your life? Not to be an asshole, but just consider that question. Have you ever in your whole fucking life said to a girl anything that made it clear you were interested in her and that you wanted to spend time with her? If not, consider that. Because I didn't for my whole fucking life, and then I figured out, oh, I'm just not doing anything. I'll fix that now. So
Yeah,
consider that.
I made the same mistake, and
Yeah.
I can't even call it a mistake because I still have never asked a girl out or done any of that shit. I just got famous, so
At least
that's
you
another
know.
method.
It is. Don't do that. That's a retarded method. No one
it's
should do
not the
that. Don't
best,
wait your
but-
whole fucking life. Okay, anyway, that's done. I think we... Oh, that was the last one. That was our last fucking voicemail. So there you go. We're all done. We're all done.
Here's what I want to tell you guys about one more thing.
Sure.
One more of my revolutionary ideas. Here's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
This is my big goal going into 2020. I hope
Okay.
you all will consider it as well, which is to go torrent. Go and torrent. I like a little bit of what BitChute's going on. It's a little slow. It takes forever to upload on there.
Yeah.
YouTube, obvious dumpster fire. Where can I post literally whatever the fuck I want? Torrents. I could just send people torrents. Did you know that it takes like 2 seconds to turn something into a torrent?
I've never done it personally.
All you do
I
is
should.
you open up your torrent tracker and click create torrent and then just select a file and it's a torrent.
Does it come from your computer, like hosted in a certain
Yeah,
file
it will be.
location
I
or
mean,
something?
you
Okay.
if you have that file on your computer, you turn it
Yeah.
into a torrent. Somebody downloads it from you directly, but now they are seeding, assumably, if they decide to seed. But I'm gonna make probably a video about it, just called like "Why Aren't We
That's interesting.
Torrenting Everything?" But like, torrenting has come so far. It's super fast. You can actually play torrents. Like you can set your torrent thing to download from start to finish and then play it in the thing while you're downloading it. So like it's basically
pretty neat.
streaming. The main reason I don't use torrents that much, even for things I should, is because it's not as immediate. I like being able to just like type something in and go. But now more and more streaming sites are disappearing. It's way harder to find illegal sites on Google and shit like that. So, you know, torrents are, I mean, as the internet fucking devolves into a police state, torrents are the only way you can maintain your fucking freedom. And it's all on your servers, your hard drive, so nobody can do anything about it. And once it's spread to other people's, they'd have to individually take it off of everyone's fucking computer. So, you know, if you're backed by something like Patreon, it's totally reasonable to release shit through torrents that you can't release through any other platform, because your audience will see it. And it'll stay up. So that's what I want to do. I want to buy a server and start fucking releasing shit through torrents.
It's a good idea.
I mean, you're gonna have a limited install base.
It's
right?
true, but like the thing is, I think that we're punking ourselves with YouTube, because you can only really be successful on YouTube by making formulated content at this point. I mean, YouTube doesn't even recommend me anything that's not like the same shit I've seen. Like it's all 10 to 20 minute videos in the same like analytical. I mean, I know this is partly because that's just what YouTube recommends me because I've watched so much of it. But like, I do not find anything on this platform anymore that is not heavily steeped in what YouTube has always been. Like, it's just whatever, everything that comes out now is an echo of something that's been on YouTube before. You could make something wholly new, wholly unique in the video format, put it on YouTube, nobody's gonna care. What difference does it make if you just make it a fucking torrent, you know? Like,
fair enough.
And I mean, nothing's stopping you from advertising your torrent. You know, you can make YouTube videos about your torrents. So,
yeah. I guess
Though, I
so.
mean, if they find out what they're torrenting, I suppose they could always remove you for some of these things. I mean, if you're hosted files on a server, the server host could decide this is problematic content. We are not going to, you know, host your fucking files.
I
here,
mean,
sir.
what I would do is probably like, you know, make a YouTube video being like, hey, here's new content I have out. You can torrent it on my website. You know, give a link to my website. Then on the website, you can find the list of torrents. You know, you're downloading them straight from me or people who are hosting them. So. I don't know. I don't know what they could do. I don't know what new forms the world would take to try to deal with that. But I really think that's where people are just going to end up going. Like, I think that we've tricked ourselves into thinking we need a YouTube alternative because we think the audience is too lazy to go other places. And that's partially true, but I think people are lazy about stuff because they're consuming the same shit. Like, if you go to YouTube, would I leave YouTube for a YouTube video? No. Would I leave YouTube for something that couldn't be posted on YouTube? Yes. So that's what I think the mindset needs to be, is like, hey, we don't have to make content that's for YouTube. We can make content that's whatever we want and then figure out how to market it afterwards once we know what it is.
Suppose that's true. And by the way, and if you're torrenting, folks, you're going to want to have a VPN. So go and use our promo code on NordVPN, everybody. Promo code PCP. We don't have that. Please, NordVPN. Please pay us to shill your product.
Or there's a bunch of VPNs. It doesn't have to be
or
Nord.
any of the other ones.
Not that I use VPNs, but...
Well, it's too late. We just advertised Nord for free, so now they don't have to pay us.
Ever since I got like a fucking notice the other day about torrenting, like, I don't know, some fucking movie or something. I torrent everything. I don't give a shit. I'm going to torrent till the end of time as long as I can. I don't fucking care. I just got a VPN. And you know what? Since then, been torrenting like a madman, and it's been not a problem at all. Love
What kind of
NordVPN.
notice did you get? Like from your ISP or
what? I got a letter from my ISP saying, like, we have detected that you were downloading. It was actually something, I think, like a movie I downloaded on Michelle's computer, but I mean, we were doing it or whatever. And, I mean, look, this is the rub. What are VPNs for? So they can't track you when you're downloading shit. This is what they are fucking for. They won't tell you that on the other shows because they're like, they can't say that. But that fucking video by Tom Scott or whatever, he's absolutely right. This is the point. Yep.
Good video.
Anyway, that's it, everybody. So you leave us more voicemails on the SpeakPipe link down in the description.
Damn, we got a lot of discussion out of that last one.
We sure did. It goes in a lot of places. So yeah, leave us fucking voicemails. Love to have them. Make them quality. Everybody was good. Thanks for leaving them. I was happy to see. Oh, Riddlemass Batman called in, but it's basically just an advertisement for his upcoming content. So we await that happily. Riddle my ass, Batman. Looking forward to that one.
Love you,
buddy. Love you. Happy to have met you. And all right, other than that, hey, patreon.com/theprocrastinators. $1. Discord, fucking talk to us and all fucking shit like that. $5 bonus episodes. When you hear this, there will be a new bonus episode out about year in review and about our plans for the upcoming year in detail. So a bunch of us all talking about that shit that we touched a little bit on here, but way more in depth. And I make a little announcement in there that people might be interested in. So give it a listen if you care. What else we got? At TBCrastinators on Twitter, updates, etc. Blah blah blah. And that should do it. Oh, and also, if you want to play Minecraft with us, there'll be another stream coming before too long. Patreon.com/PCBMinecraft.
Subscribe to Content!
Subscribe to Content! Me and Digi's channel. I was happy to see while we were on our little hiatus that crossed over 7,000. So it's gaining pretty steadily as it goes. So I'll be happy when it keeps growing and more content is coming on Content. So keep your eyes peeled. Anyway,
well, guys, my day is ruined. I am going to be now. I'm poised to exit the decade at the lowest point of all. After having a meteoric fall.
Just
below
scrolling through what's his fucking
Twitter.
name? Rouge's Twitter and just being pissed off. Is that what you're gonna do with the rest of your day?
Yeah, among other things. But yeah, that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Well, I think social media is a cancer, and guns and destruction is the solution. So more on that next time, everybody. We'll see you soon. Have a wonderful week. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next time with another happy, slappy episode. See you then. Bye.
Happy 2020, America.